Hi, Belinda. Congratulations on the quarterfinals. How does it feel?
Yeah, obviously very happy about it. I thought it was a really close match, and of course, very happy to be in the quarterfinal and also to be able to improve since my last match against her in Australia.
Hey Belinda, well done. In Australia, I think you told me that you weren't ready to beat Coco in 3 sets, and you clearly were ready today. What has sort of happened to you? Do you think in the last, I can't do the math, 6 weeks or something like that, that has gotten you ready and has made a big difference in you from then until now?
Well, physically, obviously, tennis-wise, still thought it was a great match in Australia. I just felt like she out like played me in a way. You know, it was a very hot day, and I felt like in the end I was out of steam in Australia. Obviously, she was playing very good, and so. I mean, what changed is that I just kept on working, also on the physical side. Felt like in the last matches and tournaments, I kind of was able to play back to back, some 3 set matches, and just am fresher every time, you know, after the match. Like I'm not as tired or just the body is like holding up much better, almost like it was before. So I'm really happy about that. And I guess that's what we were working on.
Hi Belinda, congratulations. You keep improving since you came back from your maternity leave, but we also give you impression that maybe you play more freely. Do you maybe put yourself less pressure mentally because you're happy with your family?
Yeah, I think it's just obviously changed after coming back a little bit. I obviously always, you know, put a lot of pressure on myself and just try to do it perfectly. And I think it's just because of the priorities, what tennis means to me changed. Obviously, it means a lot, but it's just not my whole world anymore. So I think I don't think about it when I'm on the match. I think it's just that's something that happened naturally, and I wasn't expecting this to happen, but that's just how I feel.
Is Bencic 2 better than Bencic 1?
I don't think there's a Bencic 2.
It's all Bencic 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think I'm better or not. It's just part of my life. I don't think that now everything's changed just because I have a baby. First of all, I didn't have a baby to improve my career. I had a baby to because we felt like that's our purpose of life. That's what we want. That's came in the right time of our lives. It had nothing to do with my decision of tennis or not, or if I'm going to be better than before or not. So I don't think there's a Bencic 1, Bencic 2, Bencic 3. If you count how many times I came back, there should be a Bencic 7. So I just feel the same, and I don't want to compare all the time if I'm better or not.
I was really meaning not so much about having a baby, but the fact that there was the break and the work that you've put in since the break, that your game could be at a different level or at the same, or that's what I was meaning more.
Yeah, I mean, definitely I didn't mean this at all in a bad way, because I just keep getting like more questions like this. So I just want to clarify that, because sometimes I feel like people thought that, you know, I would take a break, just it would improve my tennis. But no, obviously, like the work I've put in, yes, I mean, for sure, like it was, we were able to do a clean start, but obviously it's not easy after maternity leave, you know, to do all the work again. You know, you feel almost like physically doing stuff from zero, and yeah, just your body changing so much in a short period of time. So I think it was really difficult, but I definitely feel like physically I am there like before.
Linda, congrats. It felt like you really turned that match in a crazy way, with Coco serving 40 love at 4-all. Can you talk about that a little bit? And also in the final game, I felt like I could be wrong, but I felt like you directed all the traffic to her forehand, whereas in most of the other games, it was a lot of a mix. You're putting the ball in different places. But was it your thoughts maybe to just lean on that side and see if you could crack it in the final game?
Yeah, I mean that's true. Of course, the game at 40 Love was very like turning point of. I mean, I kind of won the first point. I thought it was a good point. The second point, I went for it on the return, and then I felt like okay, it's possible to win this game. So I really, I mean, tried to be focused there and kind of hang in there. Obviously, it was great, to be able then to serve at the match for 5-4. And yeah, I felt like she was more tense, so I felt like that was the right time to go for her forehand. Obviously, like it's difficult to all the time go at one side because I feel like if someone's not so confident on one side, the worst you can do is give them rhythm. So, but yeah, it was an instinctive choice and definitely feel like also a tactical thing. And I hope that the score pressure would also kind of work into her mindset a little bit of not being so confident and being a little bit tight.
Yeah, what's been the hardest thing about making this comeback? You said you've come back 6 or 7 times from various injuries and things like that. What's the hardest thing about this one, and what has maybe been easier than you expected?
Well, the hardest thing by far the physical thing. I mean, obviously, the first times you try to practice, you're like, oh my god, yeah, just crazy. Of course, after having like a very sporty body and then just a huge belly, and then trying to come back and like all your muscle mass is gone and everything. So you just really start from zero. So that was the first months were just hard and obviously not easy. Yeah, it was just painful, when you're trying to work your cardio and everything up. So practices are not fun, but you feel improvement every day, which keeps you going and which keeps you motivated. And then what's been easier is for sure probably like enjoying it more, separating kind of work with private life and just leaving bad days at the office kind of in the office.
Thank you.
As you said, you keep improving physically, obviously, every day. How do you assess your game now? I mean, in order to what you would like to achieve?
I think I'm close to being at my best. I think now I'm not even thinking about anymore that how in Australia I said I'm still testing it out and kind of seeing how my body's reacting to this and that. I definitely feel like now I'm kind of back where I was before. So obviously the work doesn't stop here. I'm still trying to improve various things in my game and also in my movement and everything. I think there's not one player that says, oh, I'm good, I'm not going to try to improve. So, yeah.
Last question, Anita, yeah.
I was on the practice courts when you won. I was watching Ludmila Samsonova, and when your name was announced in Stadium 1, she turned to her team and said, Bencic? I don't know what parts of the match she had watched, but is there an advantage to players on the tour not knowing what to expect from you when they get on the court right now?
You would have to ask them. I think maybe when I was in Australia, maybe people didn't know what to expect or where my level is going to be. But I feel like now they probably see me play and maybe I already played a few tournaments, so I'm sure they know by now that I'm just here and playing. But yeah, maybe in Australia it was a little advantage that maybe they thought my movement or something would still let me down a little bit. But now I don't feel the way anymore that people don't know what to expect.